Hello, you're on to the news at 10 on 19 News 24. I am Ogoch Kuka Ona. Welcome. Federal government strategizes to improve and sustain food security across the nation.
Drought-resistant crops, heat-resistant crops, and also do all year-round farming. This is something that we're looking into.
INEC refutes report on destruction of 6 million uncollected permanent voters' cards. Nigerian-British professional boxer Anthony Joshua encourages Nigerians in diaspora to contribute their quota to nation building.
ASAP, come home, come see the family, come see the friends, come see your people. It's an amazing place.
The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency arrests Lagos socialites for shipment of large illicit substance. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will depart Lagos this Monday, January 6, for Accra, the capital of the Republic of Ghana, to attend the inauguration of President-elect John Dramani Mahama on January 7. A statement by President's Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Nanuga, says trip to Accra is at the invitation of the president-elect who had visited the Nigerian leader earlier in December. He also states that Mahama and President Tinubu have a long-standing personal relationship, just like Nigeria and Ghana maintain a long-standing bilateral relationship, saying President Tinubu, as chairman of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government, will join other African leaders at the ceremony. Minister of State for Foreign Affairs Bianca Odumegu Ojukwu and other senior government officials will accompany the presidents on the trip. President Bola Tinubu received the Awujale of Ijebuland, Oba Sikiru Kayode Adetono, at his residence in Lagos. The Awujale is the paramount ruler of one of the major kingdoms in Ogun State. President Tinubu and the Awujale have demonstrated mutual love and respect for each other in their relationship spanning decades. State House correspondent Musba Odan Wahab recalls that the Awujale of Ijebuland was the first traditional ruler that President Tinubu visited just a few weeks after his inauguration in 2023. Oba Adetono, installed as the Awujale in 1960, is one of the longest reigning monarchs in Nigeria. A group of traditional leaders from across Lagos State also visited the president. A former Director General, Voice of Nigeria, Osita Okechukwu, and a foundation member of the All Progressives Congress, APC, has saluted President Bola Ahmed Tinubu over his state visit to Enugu State. He emphasized that the visit is a firm commitment that the Tinubu administration will complete the Eastern Rail Line connecting Port Harcourt to Maiduguri and other infrastructural projects in the east, that is the southeast. He also said this will boost the electoral chances of the APC in 2027 general elections. The federal government has introduced initiatives designed to improve and sustain food security across the nation. Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, stated that these initiatives will involve partnerships with financial institutions to offer support to small farmer holders. Musa Babaliu reports.
The current population of Nigeria was put at 235,151,095 as of Saturday, January 5, 2025, based on the Worldometer of the United Nations. This reflects a growth of 2.08% from the 2024 figure of 232,679,478. Minister of Agriculture and Food Security Abubakar Kyari stated that current administration is aware of the implications of population growth and is implementing measures to enhance food availability.
Nigeria's population is expected to be 400 million people by 2050. But what we need to do, research in good seed, shorten cultivation period, drought-resistant crops, heat-resistant crops, and also do all year-round farming. This is something that we're looking into.
Among the initiatives aimed at strengthening the nation's food security are the promotion of environmentally friendly farming practices, identification of new strategies to encourage sustainable agriculture, and the provision of advanced equipment to improve agricultural productivity.
We recognize we have smallholder farmers, we have family farms, we also have medium holding farmers, we also have industrial. So all of these we are trying to properly define them to enable us target them for intervention.
The government also introduced measures to enhance food distribution systems, ensuring vulnerable communities have access to nutritious food through various community programs. Additionally, heavy machinery, including tractors, will be distributed nationwide to assist farmers in expanding their cultivation areas.
Mr. President has given us approval for 3 different mechanization programs. One is the John Deere, with John Deere Tata Africa, that seeks to supply 2,000 tractors every year for the next 5 years.
The agricultural sector required partnership, and we recognize this also. We are providing that, space for the ecosystem to grow in terms of our partnership with our development partners, and most importantly with the subnationals, the state. And you might recall that many of the state governors had visited us because of that.
President Bola Tinubu has approved the distribution of farming inputs for dry season farming across the country. The first batch of the beneficiaries are wheat farmers from 16 states who are receiving a 70% subsidy on all necessary inputs for the crop cultivation. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
INEC is not contemplating destroying more than 6 million uncollected permanent voters' cards, PVCs, going back to the 2015 voter registration. The Commission was reacting to a report by a national daily that there are plans to destroy the uncollected cards. The Commission, in a post via its verified X handle, called on the public to disregard the report. Now, renowned Nigerian-British professional boxer and 2-time world heavyweight champion Anthony Oluwafemi Joshua paid a courtesy visit to Dr. Abike Dabiri Erewa, the chairman, CEO of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM, in Lagos. Joshua, accompanied by members of his family, encouraged Nigerians in diaspora to stay connected with Nigeria and contribute their quota to the nation's development. He commended Abike Dabiri Erewa for her tireless efforts in building a very effective bridge between Nigerians in diaspora and Nigeria.
Nigerians, Baoni, how are you guys? I hope you're well. Everyone in the diaspora, I hope everyone's good, had a good Christmas and New Year. I'm here live in Lagos. If you haven't been here yet, I advise you to book your ticket ASAP, come home, come see the family, come see the friends, come see your people. It's an amazing place. You have to get to know it yourself though. I can only tell you, but I can't show you. You have to be here. So I hope this message gets to you ASAP, and I'll see you in the near future.
Dabiri Erewa expressed delight at hosting the boxing icon, commending him for his achievements and for being an exemplary ambassador for Nigerians globally.
The renewed up agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we want to encourage them to remember home. And I'm glad they're doing that. And beyond remembering home, investing at home. Already remittances, we've overstretched that one, over $90 billion in 5 years. But they are beginning to invest. Healthcare, education, agriculture. And you can see, AJ himself a #1 ambassador. So Nigerians in the diaspora are the #1 ambassadors of Nigeria. And the message is very simple. Nigerians at home, let's work with Nigerians in the diaspora. We're talking about human capital development. We are the best anywhere in the world.
You're watching the news at 10 on NTA News 24. We have more reports after the break.
NTA say thank you to all our viewers. We say thank you. A good TV station means different things to different people. What made NTA stand out for you in 2024?
Babu shakka, babu wani gidan talabijin a ƙasar nan da ke nuna al'adu kamar yadda gidan talabijin na ƙasa wato NTA ke nunawa.
Kò sí ibikíbi tí ẹ wà ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà tí ẹ ò ti lè wo iléeṣẹ́ tẹlifíṣàn ìjọba àpapọ̀ NTA kétékété kódà òde abúlé wa.
Standard NTA Bataruru Okopa Okadigun Okoko now NTA Kalisiakale.
Strength, information, outstanding performance. NTA got the steez.
For decades, we've towered high with sponsors as partners and viewers as pillars. And as we bid 2024 farewell, we welcome you to a superlative 2025 because at NTA, you can't beat the reach.
Oh, NTA say thank you.
Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, begins the new year with the arrest of a wanted drug kingpin and Lagos socialite in connection with a recent shipment of large illicit substance. Sawal Khalil Ibrahim brings us details.
Known in the drug underworld as Iyaruka, the 61-year-old has her true identity shrouded in mystery for years while she remained on the wanted list of NDLEA for leading one of the drug cartels operating from Mushin area of Lagos. The lead was, however, blown off on Wednesday, 1st January 2025, when NDLEA operatives intercepted a truck carrying 44 jumbo sacks containing 1,540 kilograms of imported cannabis. A follow-up led to her arrest at her hideout in Lagos. On the surface is a businesswoman who imports fabrics and shoes from China, but beneath is an alleged illicit drug trafficker. She is also recognized as the Iyalaji of Blessing Sisters, an influential club of society women in Lagos. Meanwhile, NDLEA officers on Friday, 27th December 2024, arrested a US-trained Nollywood and Hollywood filmmaker who is also a motivational speaker, following the arrest of his partner in connection with a shipment of 33 parcels of loud which arrived the import shed of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport Ikeja on 24 December 2024 from the United States of America, concealed in large wooden boxes. in Kwara State, a female fresh graduate and her business partner were on Sunday, 29th December 2024, arrested by NDLEA operatives in Ilorin based on credible intelligence that they were producing and selling drug-laced cupcakes to students at the community. When their apartment was searched, 42 pieces of drugged cakes were recovered from them. In Kano, NDLEA operatives on Tuesday, 31st December 2024, raided Makarfi, Dandashi area of Dala local government, where they recovered more than 149,000 pills of tramadol and XL5 from a local dealer. NDLEA assures unrepentant illicit drug traffickers that 2025 will be a tougher year for them as the agency is reinforced to fight illicit drug supply and consumption in the country. In Abuja, Salwa Khalil Ibrahim, NTA News.
3 Nigerian nationals, Hadiza Abba, Fatima Umate Mala, and Fatima Kenai Gambo, have been released. The trio, in a statement by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, were arrested and prosecuted for drug trafficking on 5th March 2024 at Prince Mohammed bin Abdulaziz International Airport, Medina, Saudi Arabia, after spending 10 months in detention. The statement adds that the arrest of the 3 women led to the earlier arrest of 2 Nigerian nationals who were found in possession of 80 capsules of cocaine weighing 900.28 grams and 70 capsules of cocaine weighing 789.5 grams. The women were detained by the Saudi authorities on suspicion of being accomplices and abating the trafficking of the banned substance found on the arrested Nigerians. The trio's arrest attracted much attention in Saudi Arabia and Nigeria. However, their successful release was achieved after prolonged diplomatic and legal engagements, which culminated in their discharge and acquittal, as well as subsequent handover to the Consulate General of Nigeria in Jeddah. The ladies were received by Ambassador Muazzam Nayaya, the Consul General of Nigeria in Jeddah, and are currently awaiting relevant immigration processes for their return to Nigeria to reunite with their families. The Commissioner of Police, FCT, Olatunji Disu, has commended operatives of the territory's Special Task Force, Operation SWIFT, for their tenacity and devotion to addressing security challenges in the FCT. He gave the commendation while addressing the operatives at the maiden end of the season banquet organized by the Police Command for the operatives to unwind. Onotu Yakubu reports.
The occasion was designed to give the about 500 Joint Task Force operatives a laid-back setting to unwind while honoring their bravery, steadfastness, and professionalism throughout the recent operations, especially those that took place culminating in a hitch-free Yuletide festivities across the nation's capital. A first of its kind in the territory, Commissioner of Police Tunji Disu commends their camaraderie, discipline, and operational advancements which have restored normalcy across the area.
These men have been deployed a number of times to assist us in a lot of clearance, in a lot of serious operations. And despite everything happening every other state, you notice that we have it wonderfully well, peaceful environment during this period. This is because of the wonderful job members of this Joint Task Force put into operations.
Deputy Commissioner of Police Ishaku Sharu, who coordinates the operation and contingent commanders, has this to say.
The Commissioner of Police, the Nigeria Police Force, and all other security agencies have all come together, and they are very happy to see you today, to also, fraternize with you.
We've received a lot of calls from the residents praising the efforts of every one of the security agencies involved in this Joint Task Force. And the administration is happy about this, and the high level of synergy that was displayed by the various security agencies
I want to say kudos to the Commissioner of Police for bringing this idea together. We have been having joint task force prior before now in FCT, but to the glory of God, man, this is superb, and this is one of the best of its kind. So we want to appreciate Commissioner of Police for this.
CP Disu expressed delight and urged their commitment to continue the efforts against all forms of threat to security in the territory. Unoto Yakobo, NTA News.
The Nigerian Air 115 Special Operations Group, Port Harcourt, is building bridges of reunion between retired and serving personnel intended to strengthen connection and address challenges affecting those who have sacrificed for national security. This comes as the base showcased Nigeria's unity in diversity amidst fanfare at its 2025 socio-cultural activities. Kingsley Amajiri reports.
The 115 Special Operations Group NAF Port Harcourt Chief of the Air Staff Pali with the veterans is a deliberate initiative by the current administration of the Nigerian Air Force to renew ties between past and present personnel, geared towards providing opportunity to listen, understand, and act on issues of concern. The idea is born out of the recognition of invaluable contributions of these veterans towards making Nigerian Air Force a formidable institution.
It provides an invaluable opportunity for us to listen to some health tips and a perspective on how to use soft skills acquired during military service to generate income.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian Air Force 2025 Bay Socio-Cultural Activities was another event put together by the authorities to strengthen bonds in recognition of the importance of socio-cultural events towards fostering unity.
This event is designed to nurture the spirit of teamwork, resilience, and excellence that define the Nigerian Air Force.
The cultural dance from different ethnic groups, tug of war, egg race, and eating competition thrilled spectators. The objective, Nigerian Air Force authorities notes, is to create an atmosphere of relaxation away from tactical operations. In Port Harcourt, Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
And also in Minna, the Nigerian Air Force held its base socio-cultural activities to commemorate the end of successful operational year 2024 at the 013 Quick Response Force of the Nigerian Air Force Base, Minna, Niger State. Mercy Fabi reports.
The Quick Response Force of the Nigerian Air Force Minna Base socio-cultural activities, BASA, which was devoid of regimentation, brought together officers and their families, as well as people of the host community in a relaxed atmosphere to celebrate the end of an eventful and successful operational year 2024, while re-strategizing for the new year. The event, authorized by the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Bala Bakar, showcased the rich and diverse cultural heritage of Nigeria, as well as create an avenue to appreciate personnel for their efforts, resilience, and dedication to their constitutional responsibility of defending the nation's sovereignty and territorial integrity.
Having checked through what we did for the year 2024, we are committed to more activities to fight insurgency and banditry in the country coming into 2025.
Niger State Governor was represented at the engagement.
The security and welfare of the citizens is the primary responsibility of the government, and the resources will always be available for them to carry out their responsibilities.
The socio-cultural activities, which showcased Nigeria's diverse dishes, featured award to deserving personnel in different fields under the Air Force jurisdiction. In Minna, Mercy Fabi, NTA News.
If you are just joining us, this is the news at 10 on NTA News 24. We'll take another break now. The news continues in a moment. Nigeria's aviation sector has witnessed significant growth in 2024 with focus on infrastructure development, safety standard and security. In this report, Aliyu Kabiru takes a look at the events within the Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development in 2024, the prospects and challenges.
The construction of the second runway under the present administration is a practical step for facility upgrade at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, which many say it's long overdue, taking into cognizance its importance to the nation's aviation sector.
It's very, very appalling. The whole federal capital territory, airport having only one runway. So it's very, very bad to me as a citizen.
The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development within the year under review was committed in a series of strategic partnerships and collaborations with various stakeholders from within and outside the country towards enhancing safety and security. In August 2024, for instance, the ministry signed a memorandum of understanding with Boeing to enhance the country's aviation industry. This partnership, the minister said, is to benefit Nigerian airlines and develop the country's civil aviation ecosystem. Still within the year under review, the country has also upgraded its airport facilities, including the installation of modern navigational aids and weather-focusing equipment. Within the last quarter of 2024, the need for the establishment of Fly Nigeria Act, which required government officials to patronize local carriers for international and domestic travels, is given due attention, which the minister said is preparing to lay a solid foundation for a stronger aviation industry in line with the agenda of the present administration.
The policies that will make sure that we allow our industry to grow. That's our focus as a government, to ensure that the right policies are put in place, the necessary legal framework and administrative framework are put in place to ensure that this industry grows. I have said it over and over before that the rate of mortality of local airlines have been so alarming in the past years, but that this government is determined to change that.
The ministry's commitment to advancing infrastructure and technology was further evident with the inauguration of the NCAA Flight Data Center recently, designed to enhance data collection, data analysis and monitoring of aviation activities. This project underscores the importance of digital transformation of the nation's aviation sector in line with the global best practices.
It will help NCAA proactively detect potential safety risk, enhance safety oversight. It will also enable data-driven decision-making to prevent serious incidents and accidents.
Despite efforts by regulators towards enhancing safety standards, passengers still within the outgoing year, in many instances, decried on the number of issues, including inadequate response to the flight delays and cancellations, and the loss or damage of luggage and poor customer service.
My flight is supposed to take off 8:20 in the morning, so they reschedule it to 5:20. Earlier before now, I've been here for 4 hours.
We know that our primary duty at the core of our operations at the NCAA is safety and security. We are more concerned about that than the airfares. Airfares are not regulated in the sense that people think most times, because airlines are also businesses that are guided by, the business climate of the country, of the operations.
Still within the year under review, the industry recorded notable air incidents, including the recent crash of October 24 involving a Skorsky helicopter operated by Eastwind Aviation, which ditched into the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of Boni-Finima. The incident involved 8 individuals on board, with 5 bodies recovered so far. These and many other strides within the Ministry of Aviation in year 2024, stakeholders in the industry say the strategies in the sector have ushered in innovations transformation and excellence towards repositioning Nigeria as a leader in global aviation policy and practice. In Abuja, Aliu Kabir, NTA News.
Bauchi State Government has inaugurated the first batch of 500 cadets and marshal of the State Roads Traffic Agency, Baruta. Governor Bala Mohammed, while speaking at the passing out parade of the newly recruited personnel, says the establishment of the agency is to complement the efforts of conventional traffic law enforcement agencies. Awal Abdullahi reports.
This is the official passing out parade of the newly recruited personnel of the Bauchi State Road Traffic Agency after undergoing regimental training and induction course on traffic management. Governor Bala Mohammed says over 2,000 unemployed youth have been engaged in the agency, which has the responsibility of arresting road traffic violators to ensure smooth traffic flow across the states.
Let me at this junction draw the attention of the cadets and marshals of Barota that they have been entrusted with the power to enforce the law in accordance with international best practice. Your duties are to serve as peacemakers, educators, and protectors of public safety and interests. As a government, we will ensure that you will continue to be trained and retrained and be provided with vehicles and communication systems to perform your duties effectively.
One of the cardinal initiatives of the Federal Road Safety Elite Agency in Traffic Management is to ensure that traffic management is established at all levels of government.
They have undergone 21 rigorous training and induction courses, not only on traffic laws, but on morals and good conduct with the general public while on duty.
The event featured a decoration of the newly recruited officers. In Bauchi, Awal Abdullahi, NTA News.
The federal government has been implementing various social investment programs aimed at providing socio-economic support to vulnerable Nigerians across the nation. In this report, Hingino John Adams tells us more about the initiatives.
As a way of giving vulnerable Nigerians social inclusion, the federal government came up with various interventions like the conditional cash transfer, homegrown school feeding program, student loan, youth empowerment benefit scheme, and support to nano and micro businesses, among others. This, many believe, will create an enabling environment to ensure the successful realization of the country's economic reforms.
It's very, very laudable, and I think so much has been achieved. It makes the dividends of democracy, social dividends of democracy, go to the grassroots and also to the people who ordinarily will not have access to social benefits.
As government focuses on delivering social protection to vulnerable Nigerians through strengthening various social investment programs, stakeholders say transparency and effective implementation process are important.
There is a need to rejig that program, and that is already happening. I have to be sincere with you. Like I said, under the Buhari administration, beneficiaries of conditional cash transfer were being given cash. But under this administration, I think the millions of people who are now beneficiaries have to provide their bank account details. They have to provide their national identity numbers. They have to provide their BVN. They also have to have their biometric details captured in a database.
Key players believe, with many Nigerians already benefiting from the various social investment programs of the federal government, it is expected that the impact will soon be felt in the economy. In Lagos, Hingino John Adams, NTA News.
The year 2024 can be described as a very eventful year for the oil and gas sector in Nigeria, with many landmark policies that shaped the lives of most Nigerians in one way or the other. Lydia Sampson walks us through some of the major highlights.
An economic lifeline necessary for success of all the sectors. Government's resolve to unlock energy and natural resources is already yielding results across the value chains, creating a foundation for long-term economic growth. The restreaming of Port Harcourt Refining Company signals the commencement of crude oil processing from the plant. Key players believe delivery of petroleum products into the market is game-changing, ultimately batting competition and unraveling the beauty of deregulation and market forces.
Without leadership support, you cannot achieve results like this. And we are convinced beyond all doubt that without the support, perseverance and patience of Mr. President, we will not have achieved this feat. And all of us must congratulate him because this is his massive pressure that made us to come to this level. And we are very happy.
All the regulatory support that were required by the refinery was granted and offered by NNDPRA. And my colleagues have been working very closely with the contractor as well as the management of PHRC. What is important is, like the contractor said, the upgrade to new technology.
The issue of monoproducts has been erased, and the issue of monopoly has come to the past. So with the development that we are so happy. It has also increased our local production. And to make this supply value chain meaningful and the presence of the refinery also purposeful is to ensure those pumps and the pipelines should be repaired as quickly as possible.
Similarly, oil production surged up to approximately 1.8 million barrels per day from 1.4 million barrels per day in June as the government intensified efforts against oil theft and sabotage. Experts say this increase not only supports national revenue but also aligns with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's vision for economic recovery.
ExxonMobil surplus divestment will receive ministerial approval in a matter of days, having been concluded by the regulator, NUPRC, in line with the Petroleum Industry Act, PIA.
Our ambition is to ramp up production. We're also resolving the industry problems. Once we resolve some of those industry problems, production is bound to increase. We are also, creating, investment climate, both the regulatory framework, both the fiscal framework, so that we could be globally competitive.
The significance is that we're moving away from a challenge that bedeviled and affected our economy.
Nigeria's oil and gas industry play a vital role in shaping the country's economic trajectory. It accounts for over 80% of export earnings and 60% of government revenue. As the backbone of Nigeria's economy, the industry's performance directly impacts the country's GDP, exchange rates, and overall economic stability. The implementation of the Petroleum Industry Act continues to reshape the sector by promoting transparency and local content development. In the same vein, recent executive orders have introduced fiscal incentives aimed at enhancing operational efficiency and attracting investment in non-associated gas projects. Even as presidential initiative on compressed natural gas is diversifying the energy mix and providing cheaper, cleaner fuel alternatives.
Because we are very intentional about spreading CNG to the reach of a common man. We don't envisage a situation where we have queues in CNG stations like is obtainable in the petrol station. That is not our dream. In conjunction with what the directive from Mr. President, that every state of the Federation must have a CNG mother station, daughter station to serve the people.
Between now and the end of first quarter, we'll be seeing at least additional 75 stations across Nigeria in the key principal cities. It takes typically about 12 to 15 weeks to install a retail station. So it takes time, but you have to do the planning, the permitting, all of that stuff. But we're working through the issues. We'll get there.
The 2024 licensing round, launched by the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, aims to attract international investors and boost domestic production through a transparent regulatory framework. Additionally, Dangote Refinery's ramp-up is expected to transform Nigeria into a net exporter of petroleum products, reducing reliance on imports. Despite these advancements, challenges remain, including potential disruptions in the Niger Delta and ongoing issues with infrastructure and crude oil theft. Nonetheless, the government's proactive measures signaled a promising trajectory for Nigeria's oil industry in 2024, fostering hope for sustained growth and stability. In Abuja, Lydia Samson, NTA News.
Thank you, Lydia. Now, Nigeria, with a population of over 200 million people, has become a global brand in the area of music and other forms of creative arts. In this report, Gufan Shaji Ogwani takes a look at how the country is exploring its huge talent base to contribute to the growth of its GDP.
Creative economy, you know, as every nation is trying to diversify away from the general means of growth such as oil. Nigeria is an oil producing country. We're exploring other sectors that will give us growth. So when we look at the creative economy, for example, we see an opportunity for a country like Nigeria that is quite populous with about 220 million people. So we're trying to explore other ways to expand the GDP, have an economic expansion as well as having a cultural expansion. So we're looking at this area, this sector of creative economy in order to be able to do that.
The performing arts sector in particular has played a significant role in promoting socio-political advocacy and cultural heritage. Nigerian theatre, which began 60 years ago at the University of Ibadan, has grown to become Africa's most popular movie industry, worth $6.4 billion.
We've committed to creating $100 billion to increase the GDP, and also creating by 2030, and also creating at least 2 million jobs by 2027. And at the same time, call to action for partnership.
We're ready. We need seed capital to build. But you bring your seed capital, we will reach that $100 billion and much more.
What we can do as government is to partner with the private sector, giving it an elaborate environment, how we can further have success in this amazing field.
Despite these achievements, Nigeria's creative industry faces numerous challenges. Lack of funding remains a significant obstacle, hindering the growth and potential of the sector. Inadequate infrastructure, poor policy implementation, and intellectual property right issues also plague the industry.
Revive the culture of our people. Without properly getting the culture of our people right, we can't get anything else right. I'll give you an example. Japan incorporated culture into their technology. That's why they are a technology giant. China inculcated culture into their developmental policy. That's why they are looking at China is almost bigger than America in some ways as we speak. Many other countries. So that part of culture, or that ingredient and element of culture we seem to be ignoring, I bet you is the most important thing we need to revive.
So it is time for our parents, our leaders, our statesmen, and each and every one of us to come together to tell our children and the young youth coming up more about culture.
By harnessing the potential of Nigeria's creative economy, the country can unlock its full potential, drive economic growth, and promote cultural diversity. In Abuja, Gufan Shaji Ogwani, NTA News.
Gufan there, thank you very much. You're still watching the news at 10 on NTA News 24. Here is a quick look at our top stories. Federal government strategizes to improve and sustain food security across the nation.
Drought-resistant crops, heat-resistant crops, and also do all year-round farming. This is something that we're looking into.
INEC refutes report on destruction of 6 million uncollected permanent voters' cards. Nigerian British professional Professional boxer Anthony Joshua encourages Nigerians in the diaspora to contribute their quota to nation building.
Book your ticket ASAP, come home, come see the family, come see the friends, come see your people. It's an amazing place.
And also in the bulletin, National Drug Law Enforcement Agency arrests Lagos socialite for shipment of large illicit substance.
This is NTA News 24.
Thank you for staying with us. Now, Chibok, a local government headquarters in southern Borno, was popularized by the infamous abduction of about 300 secondary school girls by the Boko Haram insurgents in 2014. Little did people know that in this same town, bicycle has a special place in the life of an average woman, so much that it is made part of what to take to the marital house of a new bride as soon as she gets married, underscoring the affinity between an average Chibok woman and a bicycle. Muhammad Abubakar is here to tell us more about this phenomenon that one only sees in Chibok in the whole of northern Nigeria.
From Mission Street to Garu, Maina Ma'aji to Ajari or Karagu, among many other streets in Chibok, headquarters of the local government, the spectacle that greets a first-time visitor is these women, regardless of their age or class, meandering skillfully either to the farm, churches, market, social event or workplace, using the most popular means of transportation in that part of the state, bicycle. So common are these women riding bicycles along the streets of Chibok and its fringes that no one sees the phenomenon as anything unusual. This married woman by the name Laraba Abdullahi was captured coming to one of the markets within Chibok. Using the bicycle, she used the proceeds from groundnut farming to acquire and even volunteer somewhat for NTA.
I am married and used to tie proceeds of my groundnut farming to acquire this bicycle. I am using the bicycle to access every part of Chibok, notably my farm, market, and attend to other social gatherings. Nobody taught me how to ride a bicycle. I forced myself to learn how to ride a bicycle.
Martha James, who is a new bride in Chibok, was also captured using the bicycle she used her money to acquire, preparatory to her marriage, and shared with the NTA what such a means of transportation means to her as a newlywed.
Even before I got married, I prepared my marital life by acquiring for myself a bicycle so that I have the means of going to the church, market, and other places far away from my house. Well, I lack the words to tell you how important a bicycle is to an average Chibok woman for the simple fact that we virtually use it to transport ourselves to places, to markets, workplace, churches, and other social events.
The confessions by more of these women cyclists speak volumes on the place of a bicycle in their social and economic life for ages.
This bicycle you are seeing was brought to me by the chairman of this local government when he noticed the difficulty with which I market the wares I trade on, like incense, clothing materials, and so on.
Some elders in the town speak on the history of the phenomenon and its place in the social and economic life of especially women.
To get access to farmlands as the quickest means of transportation, allowed by law or by the circumstances that we find ourselves. So there's just really no basic history about it.
In the olden days, people go to farm on foot. But nowadays, women, they tried their best and bought so many bicycles for themselves. So they are using bicycle, and I'm sure they have bicycle more than men.
How true is the fact that a bicycle in Chibok is part of the accompaniments of a bride being taken to her matrimonial home
In Chibok local government, a bride is accompanied to her matrimonial home with a bicycle for her to have easy mobility, most especially to farmlands and markets, among many other reasons. It is a phenomenon that we have learned to live with in our history as a people.
Looking at the long period of time this phenomenon has been with the women folk in Chibok, what remains is for the government to harness the spectacle emanating therein for enhanced social and economic well-being of the area and the state at large.
Thank you, Mohammed Abubakar. That report is actually very refreshing, but it didn't tell us if they are very affordable. Well, thank you very much. Now, it is that time of the year when most people pen down and publish resolutions of what and what not to do in the year ahead. Have you written your resolutions already? Well, don't close the list yet. There is one more thing to add: the resolve to honor the men in your life and appreciate them for all they do. This is actually an advocacy coming from Nigerian men themselves yearning for recognition to spur them to do more. Ifeoma Aikoje in Yenagoa, the Bayelsa state capital, shares their thoughts.
Men's lives are intricately woven with complexities, contradictions, and multifaceted identities. Beyond societal expectations of toughness and stoicism lies a tapestry of emotions, vulnerabilities, and sensitivities. It has been reported severally that traditional masculine norms perpetuate harmful stereotypes, discouraging men from expressing emotions, seeking help, or prioritizing self-care.
The culture made it so that from your upbringing, the treatment they give to a man is different from that of a woman. You see them buying a toy gun for man, then buy a baby for the female lady. And that upbringing inculcates, integrate in us to be very hard as a man. That is why you hardly see a man cry.
The tears of a man is always in his heart. And that is why they go through a lot of depression.
And some of them have also committed suicide because they cannot provide for the family, or the demand from the family is so much.
As the world strives for a more inclusive and equitable world, it's essential to recognize and celebrate the often overlooked contributions of men. From devoted fathers and husbands to dedicated professionals and community leaders, men play a vital role in shaping the world.
I want to advise everybody to appreciate the men. Especially the wife. Sometimes when you see them return back from work or from business, please encourage them. The fact that we are called the head of the family is not a criteria for us to die young. We should be appreciated.
So we believe that with this awareness, so many people that are already depressed will get their awakening that yes, the world recognizes their effort, the world recognizes their contribution to the society.
Now, let's hear from the male folks, their greatest hits.
Let me speak from my own personal experience. 2018, everything around me died. And at that time, I could not speak to anybody. Apart from my wife and a friend that stood by me, every other person ran. And I could not stand up to talk to anybody. Nobody looked at me because I'm a man. Society has been so constructed.
Recognizing and challenging stereotypes is vital for fostering empathic communities, promoting holistic wellness, and empowering men to embrace their authentic selves.
If there's a ministry for women affairs, there should be a ministry for men affairs. To create that balance.
As a woman, you ought to work to support that your man. So in case your man does not have anything at home, you come up with something to help him.
We want our wives and our family relatives to be supportive in terms of care and showing love to the men. This will boost their morale that they are really valued in the society.
Because the man who is your husband, the man who is your father, he also needs that sense of appreciation.
Beyond traditional stereotypes, men have continued to redefine strength and leadership. Hence the call to honor the achievements of the male folks, address their challenges by prioritizing their overall well-being. In Yenagoa, Ifeoma Aikoje, NTN News.
There should be a ministry for men affairs. Yes, I concur. All right, on that note, we conclude the news at 10 on NTN News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Ogochkuka Ona.